Okay, Sagittarius, it's going to be your monthly reading for March, and I'm going to do a simple cross reading for you today. Okay, for you in the reading today, we've got the Devil card. So this is going to be about, for you this month, really looking at what patterns that you keep yourself in. And this might be something that's really like a pet pattern that you're like, oh, that's okay that I do that way. It's not a big deal. But when you look at it in the spiral of its pattern, and are really honest with yourself about how this pattern plays itself out, you can see that it's really holding you back from something either that you want to move into or a new level of personal growth that is on the doorstep, that you're really shutting to the door to, because it's sometimes just much more comfortable to stay in an old pattern. But I would say a very exciting crossing energy that you have to that is the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords may look like a dire card, but really what it points to is that you are at the end of that thought pattern. So this might be something about maybe like a negative self-talk kind of situation, where the farther you look into this pattern, the more that you see that you've played it out so many times that you're at the end of it. There's really, with the Ten of Swords, no more thoughts to be thought about how to attack this problem or to look at this. The eventuality of this is that it is done and over with, which can be a really exciting thing paired with the Devil. So while these may be like dark and icky things that you're thinking about, the Devil paired with this 10 is a really exciting combination to look forward to, as far as putting something behind you that you've been needing to do for a long time. It's opening up to be able to be put away. It's very exciting. In your focus in the situation, we've got the Queen of Cups. So to me, this is looking like having that knowledge and cultivation of your emotional inner life. So whether that is really knowing when you need to say no, whether that is really cultivating that ability to have the self-care, knowing of when you need to pump the brakes, when you need to stop, either in romantic situations, whether in interpersonal situations where you feel like you've really overextended. The Queen of Cups is all about recognizing where those limits are and recognizing where you want to draw those lines as you move forward, in a way to cultivate what you need to keep yourself safe. As far as your subconscious focus for this one, it's going to be the Five of Pentacles. So to me, that really focuses on, as you move through this situation, trying to put away this old pattern, there could be value in you seeking help somewhere. So that could be having a more active support base than you're used to, maybe reaching out to more friends, more advice sort of situations that you're maybe not used to. in order to look at different perspectives on this old pattern that you're putting away. And that doesn't have to be, you know, asking like, how should I do this? That could be just looking up different stories about how others have put this type of thing behind them in a purely, you know, reading different accounts on the internet kind of way. It doesn't need to be like calling up your friend and asking for a direct help. There's many ways to gain help. But really this 5 in the subconscious is more about where are you having resistance to looking for help? Where does it feel like hope is lost and there's no help available? Because that help is available. You may just have to look for it in a different way, and your subconscious is really pointing to that you may need the help. As far as what you're moving out of, we've got another 5. We've got the 5 of Cups. So this is talking about having a disappointment. And sometimes it can be a very small disappointment, a very big disappointment. But the important part of the 5 of Cups is allowing yourself to acknowledge the disappointment, not sweeping it under the rug, not pretending like it didn't happen or it doesn't matter to you. It's acknowledging that it does, at least at some level, matter to you, and being able to feel those feelings and then turn around and see that you haven't lost everything. You still have 2 cups available to you. So it's not a wash. It's just making sure that you acknowledge that there was something lost, and that acknowledgement will give you the momentum to move on. Which definitely makes sense for your energy that you're moving into, is that 2 of Cups. So those 2 cups that are behind you, you turn around, you acknowledge your feelings, you move forward, you move into this 2 of Cups energy. So this could be perhaps a new meeting of a new person, a new emotional connection, maybe someone that you started to engage with just a little bit. Now you're starting to really go back and forth with new ideas and new feelings together. It could also be a new awareness in yourself, a new relating to a different part of yourself that maybe emotionally you have been sweeping under the rug before with this 5. If you haven't been acknowledging this emotional part of yourself, you finally acknowledge and you turn around and you see that there are 2 different parts of you that have 2 different needs. And that when you bring those 2 needs into balance, you have a better clarity and a better understanding of what your overall needs are, as long as you're not invalidating one for the other. The 2 of Cups is all about giving them both what they need. Okay, as far as your attitude or energy surrounding the situation, you've got the 6 of Cups. So I think that paired with your conscious focus of Queen of Cups, what you're directing towards, I think the 6 of Cups really points to the attitude of remembering the good times in a very fond way, and making that a priority for a time can be really sweet and beneficial. It's all about not setting up shop there, though. So with the Queen of Cups, it's about being able to look at the snapshots of the good times and the things that bring you joy from the past, and being able to build that information and how you build your future, not just the reminiscence of there were good times, but that knowing how those things played out, you can project good times into the future. As far as the energy that's surrounding you, you've got the 9 of Cups. So this energy is available of this emotional achievement, this spiritual, emotional care that you have the ability to cultivate for yourself is very available. I think what this energy being in your surrounding and not in your attitude really speaks to being able to incorporate some of this help and some of this mental projecting forward is really going to be able to get you to this new level of emotional achievement and care. Your hope and fear, the Knight of Cups, I really see that as mobilizing this new emotional understanding that you're working into. So to me, that means maybe it's a new way of relating to how you pursue emotional investment in other people, how you pursue keeping yourself safe, but also recognizing that you have a lot of resources in your emotional space, in your spiritual space that you can mobilize. As far as the overall outcome, you've got the Sun card, which is a wonderful outcome to move towards. A lot of people see the Sun as sort of like a little too Pollyanna, but I think that's getting too far away from the real meaning of this Sun focus is having a centralized idea of knowing that your inner knowing and honoring your own joy and your, what is generative for you will project out once you center it. So the Sun energy really speaks to going through this process in putting away an old pattern and really acknowledging your feelings about it, stepping forward into acknowledging your different needs is going to help you center that generative quality that your Sun is working towards. As far as the bottom of the deck and eventualities, we've got the King of Swords. So really what that speaks to is like a brand new, very, very strong clarity. That 10 of Swords confronting you with something old that needs to be put away is definitely ending in this clarity of the King, of being precisely grounded in the truth of knowing. I'm going to pull 3 more cards just to get a little bit of clarity on that eventuality of the Sun working with the King of Swords. Okay, so we've got the Lovers, the Page of Pentacles, and the Chariot. So to me, this really is pointing towards, if you're in a lot of this pointing towards a relationship situation for you, that this is going to give you a new understanding of how you relate in your choices to the other person. So that's going to open up a new practicality for you as far as maybe how you were approaching things with the person you're in relation with. The practical side of how you did it was really undermining this emotional understanding that you have now through this month, and that you're taking a new practical approach to how you do things together. The Chariot really does speak to a lot of movement on how that old way of approaching these things is just not going to serve you anymore. And in order to make that journey forward, you have to assess, what does your vehicle look like? How can you incorporate these new learnings from this month into a new path with this person in relation? So this could be a family member. It could be something you're in a romantic relationship with. This could be really about how you are making choices that put you in a more balanced ground with how you relate to another person moving forward, by knowing this truth about yourself and sticking to this central force that you have and how generative it can be for you if you're keeping that centered on your inner knowing and not sweeping that under the rug, but keeping focused on that Sun and King of Swords eventuality.